Okay. Well, my husband had recently had quite a significant surgery, and that required him to travel back and forth to St. John. The follow-up treatment required him to travel back and forth to St. John to the regional hospital every day of the weekdays for 6 weeks. So 30 days, 30 treatments. And so the first help that I got was from a friend who had the experience and knew that he probably knew me well enough to know that I would think, well, I can do that. I can drive him 30 times to St. John in the winter. And but you're not really functioning at a very level place, because you're concerned about that person's health, and so you're not making the best decision. So he knew that about me, and he knew that the help would be there, and so he just sat me down. Well, two of Bob's friends sat me down and said, "You're going to need drivers, and you shouldn't be the person who gets them, and you shouldn't be the person who organizes them." And so I didn't really object, because I just thought, well, that makes sense. All those people out there with cars who love him so much, and if they want to help, well, that would be amazing. And so I knew immediately who I should ask to be the person to put that all together, and that was you, Sandy. And one of the people I talked to didn't know who you were, but the other person didn't. They were like, "Yeah, that's the person you need to talk to." And so with very, very little effort on Bob's or my part, we knew all the people who had offered to help, and so we just put a list together and we gave it to Sandy, and she started that ball rolling, and we had more drivers than we could actually drive him, because I was doing a day a week, and I eventually had to give up some of my days because people were so insistent that they be able to help, and that was just amazing, really amazing. It made such a difference. What I would say to anyone who was in that kind of situation where you're kind of facing an impossible task, is to always reach out, because I think people are surprised by how large their community of sort of affection is. That like we had people, for example, from our church. Not that surprised me, because the congregation at St. Paul's is incredible. I see them help people all the time, but that's just one aspect of a person's life. And then you have, people who you worked with, and obviously your friends and your family. And, it seems like a monumental thing to do, but it just starts with one person. Like with me, it started with the person who said, "Do this because you need to. It'll be better for you and for your husband." And then the second person, which was Sandy, who put it all together and followed it through. And just reach out is what I would say. It's not that you'll be surprised, but you'll help people help you, because that's what they want. Yeah. And food was the other way that people helped us. And yeah, it's surprising. Like, I cook all the time, but it was still, when I see that, like, lasagna come through the door, that big pot of soup, I'd be just like, yeah, that's awesome. Because, like, you just, again, you're not in control of your life in that kind of situation. You know, suddenly the variables in your life completely change. It's like being turned upside down and shaken. You know, your whole life just, you know, it's in a jumble, and it has to rearrange itself. And friends and people who care for you, if you reach out to them, they can be part of that, you know, that restoring of equilibrium, so you can get on with what you need to do, which is to help that person be well again. And yeah. And I know we're only partway through the journey of wellness for him, but so far, people have made such a difference to the whole situation. So